Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So this is part 2 of my visit to the Old Bakehouse Antiques Centre in Abington Avenue in Northampton. So yeah, in this section I was still doing the outdoor huts, okay, and in one of the huts I did find something. I bought this, which you can barely read. And what it says is Home Decorative Handicrafts, and it's from 1932, this book. And yeah, I'm going to review this book because I love references of the period, and this explains something I saw in one of my other videos. I'm going to have to dig back and try and find it, but and it also explains why you can't identify everything because people were doing stuff at home. But anyway, there's some interesting pictures in here of what people were doing at home, and it explains why sometimes you can't find stuff in the pattern books at all. So yeah, mysterious. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So there's a couple of pieces of glass in here that are interesting. There's this. This is Davidson's Jacobean, but this is interesting. It looks very Scandinavian. Glass candlestick, £6. I'm going to try and find that. It kind of looks familiar, but it might be that it's just appeared when I've been hunting for other things in the millions of candlesticks that I've seen. Get it back, get it back. If it's something really good, I might have to rush back and buy it. But yeah, I don't recognise it. Well, it looks kind of familiar, but yeah, I'm not certain on anything. So there's a few interesting bits of pressed glass in here. This is Stossel, Hermanova Hut from Czech Republic. It's an Austrian company that's still going today in the Czech Republic, making quality wine glasses and stuff like that. Yeah, that looks very Victorian. So it's £5. Does it have a hallmark? Nope. Looks very Victorian. Piece of a trinket set, but reasonable quality. Bit of Edinburgh crystal. Yeah. This is interesting. That looks like it's probably pre-war. But the thing that popped out at me here was this bowl here. I think this is Davidson's. I think it's like 1950s or something like that, but I've never seen, because I've seen this pattern like this, yeah, this, but I've never seen a huge bowl like this. It's always little round ones, not big square ones. So I'm going to go through the Davidson's catalogue and see if I can find this one. What's it got written on it? £12. But yeah, so this is like, I suspect this is about 70 years old. So back to the great 20th century glass website, and the blue bowls that we saw at the beginning of that clip are here. This is they, but this is an amber one. And yeah, as I said, it's by Stossel, 1930s. It's an Austrian company that's still going today, but they're in the Czech Republic, and the factory's called Hermanova Hut. Yeah, and I think from the angle, this is the best, closest picture to what we were looking at. It has this kind of like texture and these ribs. So yeah, that's what it is. Generally, they're not valuable. I think there is a whole set of them somewhere further along in this video. This is the Davidson 1956 catalogue that I've downloaded from the Victorian Press Glass website. Yeah, so this is the bowl or the pattern that I was thinking of with this like dogtooth, but this is not exactly the same. It's got like a double diamond, so you've got this diamond here and then it's got this other one underneath that rolls around. The bowl we were looking at has like a single point here that then wraps underneath, but from the outside it looks the same with this like spiky piece sticking out. But there's no, with this it's got, can you see another spike underneath, which is the one that gets wrapped round. So we're looking at this pattern here, but if I scroll down, it will be a while, so excuse me for this. But if I scroll down, because there is a bit of scroll, look, there's a square one with the same pattern, but it doesn't roll around underneath. And then if I keep scrolling, there will be more. I know there are more. Look, there's one there. And there's somewhere, there's another square set. There is, let me keep going. I know there's more in it. There's that's the same that we were looking at a minute ago, but there is more. Look at these here. See, and there is more than this as well. So, and I've looked at other catalogues to try and find if there is that square one in here, because this is what I was thinking of. You can see here where it clearly looks, this profile here looks very similar, but it's not this. And I've been through this and other catalogues, and that square bowl does not exist in here. So it's like Davidson. It's not very common because I've never seen it before in that square shape, because I was saying I don't recognise this shape. It doesn't seem familiar. I think it's actually a bolder pattern than this. I think it's a nicer, if this was made into a square bowl, I think that one would be a nicer bowl, because it's got that, you know, I'm not a big collector of pressed glass unless it's very early. But yeah, I quite like that bowl. I think it's quite stylish. It's quite unusual, quite rare. I don't know who it's by. It's probably post-war, because all of these are all from the 1950s, and I think all the ones, the catalogues I've looked at are all post-war ones. So yeah, I've not been able to pin it down. It is a nice bowl though, and very unusual. A couple of bits up here. This looks very bohemian. £10. This is Empoli, and I picked it up just to see, as it got made in Italy written on it. There's no stopper for it. Yeah, that makes a difference. That's why it's only £8. The stopper will probably cost you 20. But look at that. There's no quality in this. Look at that big chunk of something in the glass and the bubbles and everything. And it's just machine made. But that's what the Empoli stuff is like. These are genie bottles. Don't expect quality. Actually, I'm starting this recording again because I just scrolled down a little bit more and look at this little set here. They've all gone for ambers and browns in this one. But if I scroll down a bit further, look at this. This is the kind of look people wanted to create. This little designer, you know, interior design look. Wow, that's quite a lot there. There was another picture. Look at this one with greens and browns. So you get the idea. This is the kind of look people are going for, where they're trying to create a little cluster of colourful ones with different looks in them, not necessarily have them all be the same. Any more pictures like that? No, I'll stop now. When something unusual catches my eye, I found this little jug, £2. Okay, so I think this is Stuart Crystal, but it's really unusual. Like, it's a Stratford base pattern. It's not. No, it's not marked. It's heavy, so it's lead crystal. It's got a sort of ice catcher pouring lip, which they don't normally have. It makes me think, is it them? Is it not them? Someone copy them, but the way the rings, so normally the rings are slightly different. The way the base is finished is slightly different if it's not them, but this is just like the other jugs I have. So that is quite interesting, unusual. You know, I'm looking out for little differences. I'm not going to buy it though, because yeah, I already have about 7 Stratford jugs. I'm not going to buy another one. So I've been through some of the Stuart Crystal catalogues that I've downloaded from the Stuart Crystal Collectors Facebook group. Okay, so yeah, so this is the sort of like standard jug here that you get from Stratford, and the smaller ones tend to be just like a smaller version of this jug, looking exactly the same, but that one looked a bit more squashed in at the top. The lip was more of an ice pouring lip. I did go back to Oh, this was actually forward to 1972. It's the same stuff. And I did actually look at jugs in the miscellaneous stuff that they did, and it's not there either. They've got a few more jugs down here. But yeah, so I've not been able to find that jug that's that shape. I also have it on my website. So I've noticed actually I've got two colours I've not added on here yet. So yeah, you've got like two greens, blue, you've got clear, you've got this kind of lilac colour, and then there's a brown one and an amber one which I haven't added on here. I'm surprised I've not done that. Yeah, I'm just not diligent enough, am I? And these, there are actually two sizes here. If you look, that one's 6 3/4 and that one's only 6 inches tall. It doesn't look like a lot, but when you see them next together next to each other, you can see that the bulk of the bigger ones is substantially more. So, and you can tell that whether it's the bigger one or not, because the bigger ones, the top of the handle doesn't go over the rim, whereas the smaller ones it does. Can you see? That's a big one, small one, small one. So anyway, I can't find that. It's quite rare. I was very tempted to buy it because it's a different shape, but yeah, I was kind of saying I wouldn't bring any glass home, but it is actually also a very good price, and with the ice catching lip, it's very unusual. But people are not collecting these things, and as I said, I've already got 7 of these jugs, and I'd probably get it smashed over my head by my wife if I brought another one home. So that's what it is. The dates I've got here, 1926 to 50, or that's what the mark is like, but actually the design is from this pattern here is from 1921, and they were making it through to the 70s, probably to the end of the 70s. So very difficult to pin down a date because you've got like a 50-year manufacturing period there, and it doesn't appear in any catalogues. So it was probably, that particular shape was probably made for a fairly small window of time. Quilted decanter here, shaft and globe one. Whitefriars did this pattern. It'll have a pontle mark. It's probably rough. Oh no, it's got no pontle. That's very cheaply made. This won't be a Whitefriars one. Lots of people made them. Is the stopper going to come out? That's funny. The stopper has a different colour to the body. It's got a slightly more purplish tinge. So it probably didn't come out in the same batch. So this is Whitefriars glass, James Powell and Son, London, by the Museum of London. So this is the catalogue from 1855, and you've got your couple of quilted decanters here. Now, the thing to remember is that these would be Whitefriars, and they'd be much better quality than the one we were looking at here. And you can see there is a difference between them. This one's got a faceted stopper, this one's got a quilted stopper. And if you look very carefully here, you can see that they've drawn the stopper peg in cross-section, and they've shown it as being quite hollow. So yeah, this is very different from what we were looking at. It's still a quilted decanter, but it's not the same. And if I go over the page, I can do that. On this page, we've got more quilted glasses. This is all from 1855. We've got finger bowls, and then if I go over the next page, we're going into the 1860s. Here we go. Where is it? Not that page, actually. It's a couple of pages I want to go. There we go. There. And we have a whole bunch of quilted ones. Only this decanter survived with the... I think it's difficult to tell in this picture because it's so tiny, but I think that's got a faceted stopper. So we had one with a quilted stopper like the one we saw. Then there's this one that's got a faceted stopper, no pouring lip either, which is a feature of early to mid-century Victorian shaft and globe decanters. That's you see them without a pouring lip, but not all of them. Some, because actually the earlier one that we were looking at from 1855 did have a pouring lip, but it is a thing that you see them without a pouring lip, and then you see them sometimes with the stem of the stopper having a blob in the middle of it, and then the stopper blob at the top. But anyway, that's the quilter stuff, running on for probably about 20 years in Whitefriars. So this book is British Glass, 1800 to 1914, by Charles Hajdamach. And yeah, so we've got a whole pile more quilted glass here by Richardson, 1851. Thing he's highlighting here is that these are blown by compressed air. So don't know if that counts as modern equivalent of auto blown. But if you look at the decanter here, this also doesn't have a pouring lip. The stopper doesn't look like a quilted one. It looks like it's a faceted stopper. So that goes with the faceted neck of the decanter. So again, it's another different style where I said I've seen so many variations with pouring lip, no pouring lip, high quality, medium quality, low quality, all sorts of little variations, which leads me. So I've got two manufacturers here. Probably lots of manufacturers are doing this around this time period, because this is a style that was in the sort of like 18th century, mid 18th century or so, and then it kind of died, and it looks like it's reappeared in the middle of the 19th century. So yeah, and it just so happens I've given all of my quilted glassware away to my sister, and she said that I can use it for a film. So at some point I will be going to my sister's, and I will be making some film with the various presents that she's received from me at some point. So anyway, this is quilted wares. I don't know who made that one, but yeah, multiple manufacturers are making it, and they do. The dates I'm seeing for everything I've seen tends to be early Victorian or early to mid. The vase that we were looking at a minute ago, there's another one here. It's exactly the same. This one's got a frog in it. I don't know if this is the original frog. Might be. Yeah, I think it is. The colourway, there's a colour match, so I think it is the same or original. So yeah, the frog is for when you put the flowers in, so they stay in the right places, don't just flop around. £10. So I'm fairly certain this is a pre-war pattern. So I am going to definitely try hard to find it. This is the Sowerby catalogue from 1936 that I downloaded from the Victorian Press Glass website. Now, if you watched the part one, you will know I haven't been able to find this vase. I know I've seen it before. It's really frustrating. I've seen it out in person, but I have actually seen it between times when I wasn't looking for it. So that is a real pain. But anyway, the little frog that's inside it, they're called a frog, holding the vase. These are the Sowerby ones, and you can see it's none of these. Yeah, they've got this star one, the block version, and then a similar one called a Derby holder. And they also sell plinths for the bowls, or you could even put the vases on them. So yeah, also I have the Davidson catalogue for 1940 downloaded from 20th Century Glass website. So yeah, they also have frogs for sale separately. And again, I've looked at the post-war ones. They sell these ones, so it's not like they've changed them. And again, these are different as well. Yeah, so, and they sell plinths as well somewhere in this catalogue. But yeah, so it's neither, if that frog came with that vase, it's neither Davidson or Sowerby. You can see it is this kind of frog, but yeah, I'm out of luck. I suspect it's a Czech one, but I've gone through those in 20th century glass and I've not been able to find it. And I could probably spend another 2 or 3 hours and still not find it. So anyway, at least I've found it's not these two main manufacturers. And as you can see, because they sell the frog separately, just because a vase doesn't have a frog doesn't mean something's missing. It means it was probably never bought with the frog. It might be that they've lost it, but it's not a fatal missing piece, because probably a lot of them were not sold with the frogs, and they're because they're a separate purchase. So after saying I have been unable to find that vase, I was just about to make another little insert for my video, and I found it. Here it is. It's by Bagley. This book is Miller's 20th Century Glass by Andy McConnell, and this is the vase. Ta-da! Yeah, it's called Salisbury. So there, and it was made 1932 to 75, and there's actually 2 of those, so you could actually make a pair of them in the out of what's in the bakehouse. So yeah, interesting. Price he's got is 15 to 25, which is, I think that's about where we were, but that one had a frog in it, so yeah, decent price. So yeah, I will get on and make the section, and you'll laugh when you see what I'm actually going to cover next. Romanian basket. It's also got on the label. I haven't actually checked that yet. £8. So this is a nice big one, quite a stylish one. £8 is a very good price for these. Normally they're sort of like more double that, especially as this is quite a tall one. It's got a little blippy on the top. So this will be from the 70s, from the Padura Niagara factory. There's also a little pressed glass chicken egg cup. But anyway, yeah, that's what that is. This lovely honeycomb bowl is a big one, and it's got red on it. I've seen this pattern before. Art Deco bowl. I think this was originally an American pattern that was imported to the UK. Love the Spock ears handles on it. They're really cool. I'm going to find this. I have definitely seen it. So I was talking about the honeycomb pattern, but I was also mentioning that it was made in America as well. So this is one of the ones that we've got here, the Jeanette Glasgow, and it's also changed to Indiana Glasgow. They've called it Cubist, and you've got these 2 here. Yeah, I also know, because this pan also appears in a glass YouTube channel. The channel's called Philip Morford, and in that one it was made by Fostoria Glass Company, yeah, so they were also making this square cubist honeycomb pan as well. But now we'll move on and go to the Bagley version, which is what I think we were looking at. So yeah, going on a few pages in this book, and yeah, so this is the Bagley section, 1931, honeycomb. There we go, and yeah, there's the vase that we found earlier. So, and it was made from when does it say? It doesn't give an end date. Anyway, yes, but it does mention that it was made as the Cubist pattern by Hershey and Jeanette. That's actually not quite, because the other ones had Jeanette and Indiana, so that's not quite the same. But anyway, not expensive, but that bowl was a different kettle of fish from this little set here. So yeah, there it is. I think it's honeycomb, because we're in the UK, we're not in America, but it is a copy. I'm being distracted here, but look at this. This is cool. Look at this. It's binoculars case, World War I binoculars case. Look how long it is. And let me get inside. Oh, look, case 4, blah blah blah. That doesn't look very well. Maybe you could look that up and figure out what year it is, but inside, yeah. Oh, I can't get it not with two hands, but anyway, it is cool. The rivets look, yeah, the rivets actually look very World War One. I've got something from World War One that's got those kind of rivets on it. So yeah, that is cool. So anybody's got a pair of World War One binoculars, because you see binoculars all the time, but you don't see a case like that. I don't remember seeing one like that before. Got a late Victorian decanter here. Is that stopper original? Yeah, that stopper's original. Yeah. Pattern's matching as well, so yeah, that's a decent quality one, I think. Let's have a look at it in profile. It looks actually, I think that's probably like 150 years old, that decanter, and it's £5. Now it's got some chips around the bottom of the stopper, but that's no big biggie. Still looks good. And got a set of 6 avocado dishes for £6. These are, yeah, these are Dartington ones. They've got 6, that's quite good. No box though, and that's where the money is, I think. So there we are, the end of part 2. As usual, there will be a 3, there'll be a 4, there might even be a 5, depending on how long these chunks turn out to be, because I am not going to make them really long. I'm hoping this is not going to be long, because I haven't actually glued it together yet. But I think it's about right. But anyway, all the references that I've used will be in the description below. Please remember to like and subscribe. It helps my channel. It helps YouTube know, especially if you like, if you're a regular watcher, and if you like, it does help YouTube know that people do like this, my content, and will promote it to other people based on that. So thank you for watching, and have a good night. Good night.